Morning. I just want to say good morning, good morning, good morning to everyone. This has been just so super amazing. When you think about dating yourself, oh my gosh, when you think about the courting process, when you think about the reflection of it all, when you think about the excitement of it all, I'm excited because it lends us to where we are going right now. Hello, everyone. I am Lolita E. Walker. I am a certified life, leadership, and executive coach. I am a power speaker. I am a mommy. I'm a podcaster. I am a whole lot of things. But when I come to you for this power half an hour, it's really all about bringing you what I love to call coaching cocktails and conversations. Now, coaching is all about leaving you with a couple nuggets just to challenge your thinking. There's no right, there's no wrong. Whatever it is you want to pick up, grab it. I want it to really fuel you on your path to success today and every day. Cocktails is not so much about what you're sipping on, it's more about celebrating the greatness of who it is that you are in this moment right here. Okay. So I encourage you to leverage all of the media platforms to go ahead and type in, to release your mic and talk out loud. I think that there's power in our voices. And then there is the juicy conversations that we are going to have. Today's topic, everybody, for this power half an hour is what? Leaning in, leaning over, and leaning beyond. Leaning in, leaning over, and leaning beyond. And when I come to you, I love to use a metaphor and a power acronym. So today is no different. Today, I'm going to talk through this with you and leave you some strategies with an acronym for LEAP. So I'm going to leave you with 4 strategies at the end of it all. But today, when I'm talking about leaning in, leaning over, and leaning beyond, I want you to think about a circumstance that's happening in your life right now. And we are going to do this in the form of thinking about a trust fall. Oh my gosh. So I know some people, when they even heard that, it brings up these butterflies inside of themselves in a trust fall. Well, what is it? For those of you all who might not have ever heard of it or not putting 2 and 2 together, this trust fall is this activity that a person deliberately falls back. And there's either a single person or there's a group of people called spotters that's there to really catch them in their fall. Now, people do this for trust activities at work, for team building activities, no matter where it is that you're doing it, maybe with your family, wherever you're doing it. Just think about this. And I want you to think about it in a sense of leaning in, leaning over, and leaning beyond. What's some thoughts that go through your head when someone says, hey, I want you to stand right here, and then I want you to fall backward. I want you to release everything that's happening right now in your mind, your body, your spirit. And I want you to trust this person or this group of people who are standing behind you. And I know the first time that I ever did this exercise, I had to look back and look at what's the distance between where I'm standing and where this person is standing. And do I really feel like they're going to catch me? Now, those are 2 separate questions. Do I really feel that this person behind me has my best interest in mind? Am I willing to let all of the things go so that I can be right here in trust? So beyond circumstances, beyond situations, beyond environment, beyond our thoughts, beyond anything that we're thinking about, is this person going to catch me? Oh my gosh, I'm wondering if you've also been there. I'm wondering if you've also had to do a trust fall inside of your life where you've gotten so far. So when we think about leaning in, I want us to think about this notion of what if leaning in is like the moment before the fall? It's about acknowledging the fear that I'm thinking right now. It's about embracing the uncertainty. It's about taking this leap of faith. When I think about when I started my doctoral journey, when I think about when I realized that through my writings, I was actually writing a book. I was journaling, but I didn't even know a book was there. It's about deciding to lean in. It's about when procrastination is right in front of you, when doubt, when fear, when anxiety, when stress is right in front of you. It's about deciding, guess what? I'm leaning in. Deciding that this is the moment that I'm talking about. This is the moment that if you've engaged in a trust fall of when you turn around and you calculate the distance. This is the moment when you decide, is this something that I'm really going to do? This is the moment when you bet on you. This is the moment when you decide, I am in it to win it, and I'm going to date myself again. It's the moment that you decide that the best is yet to come. Why am I talking about this today? Well, Of course, I tell you guys that because I'm a certified life leadership and executive coach, I have these clients, these amazing, powerful clients, or just sometimes in my everyday or just conversations with friends. Recently, I was talking to a client, and they were talking about these goals that they had, and this fear that was standing in front of them. And if you've ever worked with me, do you know I had this amazing fear exercise where we have this dialogue with fear, and we talk about it, and we humanize this fear. And it's no different than maybe what some other people do, but I just love this exercise in itself. And as we were doing this exercise, one of the things that came up was procrastination. And I tell you, procrastination sits by my side at all times. I have a project I'm working on right now, and I just don't know how procrastination got so far in front of me and so big and so wide. But this leaning in is the decision that you're making about acknowledging that this is the uncertainty that I'm not so sure of, but I know that I'm going to take a leap of faith, and I'm saying yes to this thing. I'm acknowledging my yes, and I'm going to lean in. So whatever it is that you're thinking about, that you're powering through in life, whether it's work, it's home, it's life, it's school, whatever it is that this thing is, I want you to consider, what if I lean in? This is about that feeling before the fall, before the trust fall. Remember, I'm leaning into to remind you about this trust fall. And if we think about 3 phases of this trust fall, we're thinking about the leaning in, the leaning over, and the leaning beyond. And then I really want you to consider how this applies to you. And if you can pick up some of the juicy nuggets so that then you can take this creative action today. I want you to really think about it. It is about leaning in. All right. So now we're acknowledging that we're about to take this first step, or we're going to retake the step. We already started it, but we pressed pause on this thing for a minute, but we are all in and we're recommitted. We are stepping out of our comfort zones, and we are saying yes to the opportunities that lay ahead. Scary? Yes. Impossible? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I was scrolling through Instagram this morning, and I saw where, what was I looking at? I saw where Bailey had said, "Oh my gosh, I just ran across this. This cartoon, and I don't know if you all saw it." And she said, "You gotta take a look at this. It's this power Black little girl who is just so empowered. And look at all of this stuff. And it's called Karma's World." And then she just started talking about this thing. And I just felt like that was that leaning in. That's that switching through and seeing what is going to work well for my children, what is feeling good. And imagine taking that leap by Ludacris and saying, "Hey, I want to put out in the world what my daughter has already gone through." His daughter Karma has already gone through in school, from bullying to all of these other things that she's gone through in her life. But I want to put it at the forefront. Sometimes that thing is scary because, one, you're putting out all of what she's been through, and you don't know what the reaction is going to be, but you know that there's power in the people that are going to see that thing. So sometimes you got to take the leap, because the leap isn't even for you. The leap might be for the millions and millions of people, the hundreds, the single digits, those people who are going to get power from the thing that you're saying yes to. The world needs more of your yes. The world needs more of it. And quite frankly, sometimes you need more of your own yes. I'm just saying. Sometimes you need more of your own yes. So this notion of leaning in is this notion of saying yes. This notion of leaning over, remember, we're talking about this trust fall. So leaning in was about those funny feelings inside. And you're saying, "Oh my gosh, I'm going to trust that I'm going to trust my yes in this thing. I feel all of these butterflies inside of me." But now when I'm talking about you're doing the thing now, so now leaning over is about the fall itself. What if leaning over is about the fall itself? It's about overcoming the fear and the thrill of what this fall is. It's about the resilience and the perseverance of the thing. It's about the strength within us that keeps us going, that keeps us motivated, that keeps us trusting each other to catch each other in the fall. It's about knowing who your resources are in your community, that when you have the power of the ask and you get up the courage to do it, you're clear on your ask. And that person, those people, those resources are going to continue to lift you because you've trusted in enough to go in and recognize the power that's in your community. I'll tell you one of the I have a girlfriend, a really good girlfriend who is searching for a job right now, right? She's such a powerhouse. Oh my gosh. If I could, I would hire her right now inside of my own business because the power of sales that she has is freaking amazing. Amazing the way that she's able to not only network, but also bring out what sales means, right? How you get to the bottom line, how you push your product, how you push your services. And she is freaking phenomenal, has worked for some of the most amazing Fortune 500 companies. And so I'm talking about this thing with her and how, and I know some of us have been here, and how when you leave one corporate job and you go to look at another, there's this kind of fear that's inside of you. But what if when you turned around and you looked at the distance between where you are and where you want to be, you chose that I'm about to leap in this thing, because when I'm thinking about leaning over whatever obstacles I might think is in front of me, I'm facing them head on. Resilience, perseverance. Are you kidding me? The strength already lay within you so that you can move over, so that you can lean over, so that you can leap over this thing. You already have it. The cape is yours. I want you to know it. I want you to trust it. I want you to believe it. If it's about pushing your business, you've already said yes. You already have the website up. You already have the products and the services. You already know what you're going to do. So I want you to lean over the thing that might be that fear and get at it. When's the last time you decided to look through your Rolodex and, hey, today I am committed to calling 5 people on this list and really reminding them of what it is that I bring to this table? And I'm ready with my ask. If it's about your project and you need help and there's this stumbling block, okay, I'm talking to Lolita, then what is it that I'm doing? Who are the resources who can help me through this thing? So I'm going to take my own words today and I'm going to list out 5, and I'm going to commit to reaching out to 5 people, because I have got to make sure that I'm going to push through this thing, because it's about leaping over. How do I know I could do it? Because I've been here before. How do you know you can do it? Because you're standing right here, period. How do you know you can do it? Because you've done it millions of times before. How do you know you can do it? Because the person that's been telling you, oh my gosh, you could do it, has seen you do that thing before. We talked about motivation and what motivates you. I am a stickler. I am a firm believer in the vision, a vision board, of what I call a Be Me board, and putting that thing up. And I was telling somebody the other day that I got to get remotivated for this thing. And sometimes I got to look up and I got to add different things to my vision board, because the vision is there. So that graduation cap and that excitement I could see when I graduate and become Dr. Walker, it is there. I could see it. I could feel it. But what if I put a graduation hat up there? That's what I'm talking about. Yes, it went up there the other day, a real one, because I want to add on to the motivation that is there. It's not only about leaning in. I've already done that thing. It's about leaning over and now pushing through. I want you to know that there's resilience and perseverance in you. And you are the power. You are the one that's going to drive this train. You are the conductor aboard your train. You decide what moves forward, what stays still. And when you decide you are no longer standing still, then guess what? The world is open to you. When you decide that I'm going to become vulnerable in my ask, then the world is open to you. When you decide that, guess what? Today is the day that I'm going to leap over this thing. Today is the day that I've decided that it's about the fall itself. I've already looked, I've measured, I've looked around, I've assessed the person. I'm looking around to see how hard, just in case they drop me. All of that's done. Remember, we're moving to the leaning over. And so this is about the fall itself. This is about trusting you and trusting those around you to know that this thing is bigger than where I'm standing right now. I want you to know it. I want you to trust it. I want you to absolutely believe it. I remember one time someone wrote me in this specific instance. When this person wrote to me, they said, Lolita, I want to get some coaching from you. And the reason is because when I talk to you, I just get re-inspired. And I think that that's phenomenal. But then there's not a follow-up. And I want to share this with you all, because this leaning over is about leaning over because you've already leaned in. You've already committed to this thing. And in time, in your time, that thing will happen. In your time, that thing will happen. And so I don't want you to be too hard on yourself. I want you to know that, guess what? When the right time is here, then you will press forward. But when you're ready, know you're ready, and don't let any of those things, I mean, fear, anxiety, stress, all the things that I talked about before, get in the way. Don't let what other people are saying, don't let what you're saying get in your way, because that graduation hat is right there on the board. That book is right there in front of your face. That starting your business is right there. That next job that's up 2 levels from where you are, because you've already been performing at up 2 levels, yet you're not getting paid for it. You're not getting recognized for it. So I want you to know, trust, and believe that what you are bringing to the table is way worth more. It's worth more than even what you can imagine. I want you to dream bigger, and then I want you to do bigger. Today, we're talking about leaning in, we're talking about leaning over, and we're talking about leaning beyond. Now, I only have a power 30 minutes with you guys, okay? So I'm trying to get it all in. I'm trying to do all of the things. And I want to remind you that today, when we talk about making an impact, the impact is right in front of you. The impact is yours. The impact is that thing that you've been doing all the time, but I want you to claim it. And when you claim it, you recognize that I'm already leaning in. Remember, leaning in is about embracing the challenges and the fear that we already face every day. It's about acknowledging them and realizing that I'm going to take this first step. Remember the trust fall. The leaning in was about, am I going to do this thing? It's about the moment before the fall happens. It's about the breath in and I got this thing. And then the leaning over was about the fall itself. Okay. The fall itself. It's going on. It's about overcoming whatever was standing in front of your way. It's about that discussion. It's about that thing that I've already discussed, I've already assessed. And yes, I'm owning my yes. It's about that thing. Okay. What is it that you're thinking about that's happening inside of your life that you're going to apply this to? Because I want you to do the work. I want you to do the work. I love the juicy conversations we have, but it's not just about the conversation itself. It's about doing the work. I love this. Kanika said, yes, it's all about leaning in, leaning over, and leaning beyond. And Kanika, I have so many examples. Don't worry, I won't say them out loud, of where you have absolutely done this over and over and over again. Well, one of the things I will say is that I remember when Kanika, and I just saw it upstairs yesterday, she started doing these cards. And it's she's a Delta and I'm an AKA, and she has these different greeting cards and these blank cards that you can write in. And one of them says, "Hey, Soror," and it's so super amazing. She has so many. And I remember when she launched that thing, and I remember getting mine, and I remember the support, and I remember how many people started buying her products. Sometimes you don't know how powerful your gift is until you just put it out there. Nobody even has seen the greatness of what it is that you're capable of, or it's just a limited few. And then what if I have something and I could be like, have you seen this? Giving out the greeting cards there. So that is just one example of how you can see you're leaning in, you're leaning over, and you're leaning beyond at work. And I just think it's so powerful. Okay. All right, let's get to leaning beyond, because we only have about 10 more minutes left. And I want to make sure you guys even get the power acronym that's in the end. And of course, we'll open it up for questions if you guys have any, or comments, because all of those things are so super juicy to me. So let's talk about leaning beyond. Now, the same thing that you're thinking about, okay? It's the same instance that you have going on in your mind right now. This leaning beyond in relation to our trust fall is what? You've already fallen. So this is about the time is after. This is the moment after the fall, like the moment right after the fall. You feel so safe. You realize that, oh my gosh, I've overcome this fear. You get up and you're like, you might even give the person a hug. You get up and you realize that I've done this thing. My doubts, what was that all about? It's that feeling. It's about envisioning a future that is not bound by any circumstance that is right now. It's about envisioning and then being fueled by your dreams and your aspirations. It's about that excitement of the first time you get your client. It's about that excitement of you being in the new job and thinking that you couldn't do it, and boom, look at that result right there. It's about hitting that KPI and your team didn't really recognize it, and you went out on a limb and now you're celebrating them. It's about that house that you didn't think that you could buy, and you sit in there. It might not even have any furniture yet, and you just say, thank you, God, that I'm standing right here. It's about your friend who just got this amazing new opportunity, and you saying, oh my gosh, I'm so pumped for you. And you actually meaning it because you want to see them win. It's about leaning beyond and transcending beyond our limitations of what anybody might set for us. It's about being, again, fueled by our dreams and our aspirations. So I want to help you to embark on your next journey of leaning in, leaning over, and then leaning beyond. It's not about the leap itself. It's about the landing. It's about the journey. It's about the experience. It's about you saying yes. It's about the trust fall and all of the different facets of it. Leaning in, leaning over, leaning beyond. And so the 4 strategies I want to kind of leave you with today is in this power acronym of LEAP. Okay, I want us to take the leap, LEAP. I want us to take the leap. So all of you all who have your CCNC journal, Coaching Cocktails and Conversations journal, I want you to grab it right now and I want you to write this in it, because inside of this journal, what you're able to do is not only power the acronym, but also draw pictures of what this means to you. Write other words of what came to you when you're doing this exercise of soul work. Okay, so the L is all about leaning in, of course. It is about the lean itself, the leap itself. It's about embracing the challenges and taking that leap of faith. So embracing those new challenges is so important. This could be, like I said, a new project at work. It could be a new hobby. It could be a new routine. It could be whatever this newness is in your life. It's about leaning in and saying yes. That's to the leap in the lean itself. All right. The E is about experiencing the thrill of it all. The journey, you guys, it's the journey of the thing. When I was on here last week, there was tears coming out of my eyes because a really dear, dear, dear family friend had passed away. And though we haven't celebrated her life by way of the funeral as of yet, is coming up not too long from now, but allowing yourself to experience the journey, the ups and the downs. And when I think about her, I think about her life being so amazing because she experienced it all, the newness of it all. Remember that growth happens outside of your comfort zones. That's where growth truly happens. Outside of your comfort zones. You've already watered and fertilized the thing over there. You've already done it. You got the sign that says, I did this thing out front. Now it's the newness. If it's not scaring you, then why take the leap? This thing needs to scare you. Oh, what was I just watching? And somebody said, if it didn't scare me, why would I do it? Was it Shirley? Was that on Shirley? I watched Shirley Chisholm the other day. I don't know if it was Shirley or if it was, somebody playing a role. Whatever it was, the person reiterated the notion of, no. You know who it was? Oh my goodness. It was Kelly Rowland. Oh, how did I confuse the two? And Mia Coppola. Anyway, it was good too. Very different than Shirley, but it's different type of different. And Kelly Rowland was saying that she had to talk to a friend because first she said, I'm not going to play this role. As she said, well, I don't know if I can play this role. I don't know that I can do this. What are people going to think about me and my brand and all of the things? And if you see the movie, then you can understand like that. Remember that feeling before the trust fall? Oh my gosh, what a great example. Remember that feeling I told you about leaning in? The trust fall. So this is why this is so good, is because she said that as she was talking to her friend, remember I told you the power of talking to other people, the power of your community, the power of when you're leaning over this thing, that you need people there who are going to push you a little bit further, because sometimes you thinking about doing it and they'll just push you back because they already know what the greatness that's on the other side of it, and they know it's just fear. And plus they know the person or the people behind you, right? Tyler Perry was right there behind her in order to catch her and be able to lift her and do all of the things, right? So she was saying that as she talked to her friend said, I know there's fear, but if it ain't scaring you, then you're not even ready to leap to your next thing. Now I paraphrased the last part, but that's how I received it. And I said, wow, that is so true. What a power friend, what a power coach, what a power person in your life that is going to tell you this thing right here. Who told you that you can't play that? Are you kidding me? And she was freaking phenomenal in it. If you haven't seen it, make sure you go check it out. Accepting is the A, the moment of being caught and realizing that you are safe. The moment she finished it in the last cut. The moment when she saw it and said, I did that thing. The moment when the first reviews started coming in and saying, ooh, that paint scene. The moment when you started getting reviews and you're like, yes. That moment when somebody says, oh my gosh, this is what that meant to me. I want you to know that that's on the other side of the fear. Impact, excitement, celebration. And then that P is about progressing. I talked about transcending beyond your limitations, doing the thing, getting remotivated, Lolita, doing all of the things, setting new goals, seeking new experiences, continuing to grow. Progress might be slow, you guys. Progress might be slow, and that's okay. It's about the journey. It's about the journey, not about the sprint. As long as you're moving forward, you're on the right track. As long as you're moving forward towards your hopes, your dreams, your goals, that thing, you're on the right track. So I want to open it up in case anybody has anything to say at all. And then I'm going to close on out. All right.
Hello, Lolita. This is Greg.
Hey, Greg. How are you, my friends?
I'm great. Hope you're doing well.
I'm doing amazing.
That's great. You just took me back in time to my first real estate transaction. I just got licensed. All I had in my head was textbook knowledge. Hadn't walked through a deal with anybody. Didn't really know from what all was that would be involved from start to finish. And then I get a phone call. I'm driving in the car with my wife. I get a phone call from someone out of state. They said they just purchased a property in the state that I'm in. They need somebody to check on it. They need to make sure it's secure. They need to get locks changed. They're looking to see how much it would cost to get it, ready to rent out if they decide to rent.
Mm-hmm.
And all these thoughts are going through my mind real quick. It's like, oh, it's happening. This is it.
It's happening.
And I said, and I'm thinking, I just, there's a lot of things going through my mind. This person's from out of state. We didn't talk about that. Somebody contacting me to do something with the property when they're not even here and they're somewhere else, and then getting locks changed. Can we do that? I don't know. So all those thoughts were going through my mind, but I just responded to her. Absolutely. Sure.
Absolutely.
I can help you.
I love that.
Got off the phone with her. When I got off the phone, I'm like, okay, now what? I started making phone calls, started checking with people, and got questions answered, and we took the whole thing through a process. And turns out I had a builder go out and check on it, and it was going to cost them quite a bit to get it done, and we ended up just doing a sale on it. So, but you took me back to that. The fear set in, but I could have let the fear stop me. I could have said, maybe you better call somebody else, referred it to someone. In fact, I think she was already encountering that because she made a comment to that effect. So she was so grateful that I was willing to be able to help her.
Oh, my gosh.
So we got to step beyond that fear.
Thank you so much, Greg, because you actually did. Look, you took us through each of the 3 steps I talked about today: the leaning in, the leaning over, and the leaning beyond. So super powerful. I love that you said, look, I just said, yep, and then I'll figure it out. Yes, so good. Sometimes we got to own our yes. Sometimes we got to say yes and then figure it out. It's just like having a course, for instance. You say, yes, I'm about to do this thing. You sell the people into the course, and the course comes together because you're going to execute. You're committed. So I want everybody to hear Greg's story and just own your yes. I love that Kanika said, step beyond fear. So right, she said, Greg. So super right. Sometimes progress does feel slow, but you got this thing. So I want to thank everybody. You can get in touch with me at lolitawalker.com. I'd love to absolutely hear from you. Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, you name it. I'm on it, Clubhouse, and you definitely get in touch with me. But this week, I want you guys to take away. It's all about leaning in, leaning over, and leaning beyond. Thanks, everybody. I'll chat you next week.
Good morning. Happy Thursday. Great segment as always. Let's go for some appreciation and thanks in the chat. Your takeaway from the segment. Leave yourself heart and appreciation in that chat. All right. Good morning, champions. To your morning, your room, your house, your on Clubhouse, your community, and your daily dose of unity, and all the things you need to get your day started on the right side of the bed this morning. I hope you all are having an amazing, incredible My name is Chris Almeida.
Am I still on? Sorry, guys. I didn't even know I was still on.